All right, so this is a complex type trig question, 3D trig. But yeah, let's do it. A landscape artist. Imra, you the one who asked for this one, hey?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so a landscape artist plans to plant flowers within 2 concentric circles around a vertical light pole, PQ. R is a point on the inner circle and S is a point on the outer circle. So R, Q, and S lie on the same horizontal plane. RS is a pipe used for the irrigation system in the garden, right? So the radius of the inner circle is R and the radius of the outer circle is QS. Okay. The angle of...
Ma'am, sorry, ma'am.
Uh-huh.
Gabby asked if she's in the waiting room because she's struggling to connect.
Oh, okay. From my side, it says no one's in the waiting room.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't show in the waiting room. Okay. All right. Okay, then the angle of elevation from S to P is 30, okay? And RQS is 2x. Okay, Gabby's coming in now. RQX is 2x and PQ is √3. So show that QS, okay, is 3R, right? So now let's look at the position here. So QS is in this triangle. I'm just going to take it out and put it on the side here. So this is PQS. QS is what we're looking for. You have a 90-degree angle there. That is √3R. Okay. And there's a 30-degree angle here. Now, in relation to this 30 degrees, so what have I done? I've just taken out this part, okay, of the triangle and put it here. In relation to 30 degrees to this angle here, what would we consider the side as? And what
adjacent?
Right, so that's our adjacent side. And what's this one here? That is your opposite side. So let's think of a trig ratio that uses the opposite and the adjacent side. It's your brilliant. Tan theta equals the opposite side over the adjacent side.
Ma'am,
So,
is this according to the hypotenuse?
say that again?
Is this according to the hypotenuse?
No, it's in relation to the 30-degree angle. So in relation to 30 degrees, the QS is the adjacent side, okay? And then PQ is the opposite side. So it's never in relation to the hypotenuse, it's in relation to the angle at S, which was the 30-degree. Okay. So now we're going to plug in what we have, right? So now this tan, the theta is 30 degrees. The opposite side is √3R. Then the adjacent side, that is your QS. That's what we're looking for, right? Okay. So you can switch the position of these two or cross multiply depending on what your teacher taught you. So switching the positions, √3R divided by tan 30 degrees. Okay. So QS, now all you have to do at that point is just, what is tan 30 degrees? Tan 30 degrees is actually, so now you'll have the √3R at the top. Tan 30 is √3 divided by 3. Okay, so you have a coefficient here. So √3 divided by √3 over 3. You're going to be left with just 3R. So that is how QS is equal to 3R. So your marks here for showing that this tan 30 degrees is √3 over 3, and then simplifying, that becomes just 3. Okay.
Can you explain from the second last step to the last step? I don't understand how that whole fraction became 3R.
Okay, so let's do it step by step. So I'm going to take this here, right? So √3 of, that's the numerator, and we're dividing it by root 3 over 3. Okay, so all I did, I took that, I split it so that you have your numerator as the first term divided by the denominator. Okay, now division, what happens with division? It changes to a multiplication, and then the 3 comes to the top and the root 3 at the bottom. Those two cancel out, and you're just left with 3r. Okay, does that make more sense, hon?
Oh, I
Okay,
see.
all right.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, no problem. So that is what QS is equal to. All right, so now that we know that QS is 3R, determine in terms of R the area of the flower garden. So which one is the flower garden actually? Oh, okay. So I'm assuming the flower garden is it this shaded part here? Okay, I think that's what it is. In terms of R, and then show that RS is that. Okay, perfect. So it's this shaded part. Okay, so that's your flower garden, and that is what we need to figure out the area of. So how do we figure out the area of the shaded part? So you actually have a big circle, okay? What is the radius of the bigger circle? Now, if we go back here, the radius of the outer circle is QS. But remember, we just worked out that QS is equal to 3R. So the radius of the bigger circle is 3R. Then the radius of the smaller circle is just R. Okay. What have they done here? They've taken the area of the smaller circle away from the area of the big circle. So it's area of the big circle minus the area of the small circle. Do you guys all see that? To get the shaded region.
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. So what's the formula for area of a circle? So area of the circle is pi r squared. R is the radius. So this may be a bit confusing. So let's say pi capital letter R for the radius and then squared. So where you see R, you're going to substitute in this first for the bigger one and then R for the smaller one. So sorry, let me just erase that. So big circle, which is pi, and then in brackets 3R, and you're going to square that. Then pi, smaller circle is just R, and you square that. So 3R squared, that becomes 3 times 3, that's 9. So 9 pi R squared minus your pi R squared. Can you simplify this further? Yes,
You
no.
can take out pi.
Okay, you don't, okay, so we're talking about like simplification, right? Now, there's an invisible one here. So this is like saying 9a minus a. We don't have to factor anything out. How would we simplify 9a minus a? It would just become 8a. So that means this is just 8 pi r squared. Okay. Make sense? Any questions related to 7.2?
Ma'am, how did you know to take the 3 out of 3R and put a 9 at the back?
Okay, so I only did that. So let's say you kept it there, right? So 3R squared, that just becomes 9R squared with a pi in front. And then this side you have minus pi r squared. So convention always says, algebraic convention, the 9 is your coefficient. So your coefficient always goes to the front. So that's why we ended up with 9 pi r squared. Okay, minus pi r squared like that. I hope,
Thank
yes.
you, ma'am.
For the whole test, are we gonna, do we need to know like also surface area, volume, stuff like that?
No, if ever they ask you to work out like a surface area or a volume, okay, they will give you the formula somewhere.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, cool. So that's how we got to 8 pi r squared. Okay, peoples. Now, let's go back and see. So we've done the first one, second one. We now need to show that RS is equal to that. So where's RS? RS is this one here. So what I'm going to do, same thing I did previously. I want to isolate that particular shape, okay? Erase this. Okay, so I'm going to take that shape and redraw it for you guys. So on the side here. Okay, now remember that, was it the other day or was it another lesson? I've forgotten which. Oh, it was with the grade 11, sorry. So 2x, that's your angle. And then the side RQ and QS here, okay? You can work out RS by using what?
The cos rule?
Perfect, cos rule, right? So using the cos rule, we're going to work out RS. So RS squared is equal to, we're going to use the two sides we have. So that is R squared plus 3R squared in brackets as well, minus 2 times R times 3R and cos 2x. Okay, let's go ahead and simplify here. So R squared plus 9R squared minus 2, 2 times 3, what does that give us? That is 6, okay? So 6R squared cos 2x. Are there any like terms? Yes. R squared plus 9R squared, 10R squared. Okay, minus your 6R squared cos 2x. Now, any ideas? Is there something we can do? Is there anything we can manipulate here? What's
Isn't 10R squared minus 6R squared 4R squared?
okay?
Number
So
multiplication.
okay, so we can't separate the 6R squared from the cos 2x because they're multiplying each other here. Okay, so we're going to keep those two next to each other. We can't separate them. But what, yes? Someone said, ma'am?
Cos 2x, isn't it the double angle?
It is, but we don't need to do anything with the double angle because if you look here, they still have the double angle there. So looking at,
Oh.
right, so now look at this. There's something that they've changed. Can you see the R squared doesn't have R squared anymore? And then the R squared on the other side, on the right-hand side
Didn't
also.
you take out the common factor?
Right, let's take out a common factor. So R squared equals, let's take out a common factor of R squared. Then in brackets, you're going to be left with 10 minus 6 cos 2x because we took out the R squared. What can we do to both sides now? Okay, to get rid of the squared, we're going to square root everything. So square root the left-hand side, square root the right-hand side. This becomes RS. This R squared, you can find the square root of that. It comes out. What will be left over is your 10 minus 6 cos 2x, like that. And there you go. We've shown that RS is equal to that. Okay. Any questions? Okay, so let us go on to the
Ma'am,
yes.
for 3D trig, generally speaking, for the paper, how many marks is it?
It's similar to what we're doing now about like, yeah, the same proportion as right now.
So like 10 marks out of the whole
Yeah.
paper.
Yeah.
Okay.
Between 8 and 10, that's your 3D trig. And then the rest is just like the other type of trig. Okay. And then the very last step. So guys, if you get stuck showing any of these steps, okay, don't just stop and neglect the whole question, because you can do the last part by using the information they would have given you prior. So like using that, we can work out 7.4. Okay, even if you didn't manage to show it, you can still go and answer that, right? Because they've told you that, okay, R now is equal to 10, X is 56 degrees, calculate RS. So that's just straight substitution. So RS is equal to 10 times the square root of 10 minus 6 cos 2 times your 56 degrees, like that. Okay. All you have to do at this point, plug it into your calculator, you get 34,9966 ... Two decimal places. Oh, wait, it doesn't. Okay, two decimal places will just become 35 meters. Okay, so that's our 3D trick done. Right, any questions? No? Okay.
Ma'am,
Yes?
for 7.2, how did you know that you had to minus the big area from the small area?
Okay, so for the flower garden is the shaded part, right? So if you look at the shaded part, the inner circle, remember they told us that you have two concentric circles here within two concentric circles. That's where they want to plant the flowers. So that's why I went and I highlighted this part. Okay, by highlighting that, I knew that, okay, we're dealing with an outer circle and an inner circle. So the area is basically big circle minus small circle. That's how I figured it out. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So onto this question. Okay, so this was requested by Jack. Whew, okay, we're almost done, guys. Now, in triangle RST, right? F is a point on RS and H is a point on RT, such that FH is parallel to ST. RF is 2x minus 10, FS is 9, RH is 4, HT is x minus 2. Okay, so just by looking at the question, yes, honey.
Do you also have YouTube videos on like the stuff that we do now?
Yes. Do you guys not watch
Okay.
you guys don't watch my channel?
Man, we didn't know you had a channel.
Yeah, the channel.
No, so you just go onto YouTube, look for Dudu Lunga. There's there's Euclidean stuff, there's trig, there's the whole syllabus for grade 12 stats, there's the whole syllabus for grade 12 probability. So yeah, watch my channel and please be sure to subscribe, comment, and like.
Man, you're about to save my life, man.
Yeah, guys, I'm shocked. Yeah, so all that's there. And then even so, I'm in charge of the grade 12 work plans. So for every topic, I'm not sure if you guys even look at the work plans. If you go and look at the work plan for every topic, right, there's a linking video. Literally, I've broken down everything in grade 12. There's a video for everything. It might not be me in some of the videos, but every topic I've put a video. So that's why at the beginning of each section, I would go and I upload the work plan. Each work plan has a related list of videos. For each topic, there's a video. I take it you guys don't look at the work plans.
Only when you're struggling. Man, but yeah, I see for stats, there's only like 4 videos, like not that long. So that's all we need to know.
That's all you need to know.
Oh, okay. Right.
Okay, cool. Right, people, let's carry on. Okay. Right, first questions determine giving a reason, the value of X. Okay, so I'm going to give you a second to think about how you're going to answer this question. Then we'll do it together. Okay, so let's say you're in the exam, you're seeing this for the first time. What are you going to do? Which reason are you going to use? I'm giving you a second, and then we'll come back and do it together. All right. Okay, have we thought? Okay, so we wanted to,
Midpoint theorem.
yes, Imran, say that again, love.
Isn't the 2x minus 10 and the 9, isn't that like midpoint theorem?
Okay, so if they haven't told you it's midpoint theorem, never assume, right? What you can assume is proportionality. Why? Because they're parallel lines. Okay, so we're going to use the prop theorem here. And we're using the prop theorem and the fact that they've told us that FH is parallel to ST, right? First of all, straightforward, all you have to then say is like, okay, I know that then the side RF, the ratio of RF over FS is going to be equal to what? Now, this you know definitely. It's going to be equal to the other side, which is RH over HT. Right. That's all you have to do first, but then you state the reason. So either you say line parallel to one side of triangle, or the simpler one, which is just prop theorem, okay? And then you state the parallel lines, FH parallel to ST. Okay, that's all you have to do. And you get a mark just for doing that, okay? Proportionality theorem, RF over FS is equal to RH over HT. Now, we're going to then say 2x minus 10 divided by 9 equals 4 over x minus 2. Okay, now at this point, you can just cross multiply and work out what your x is equal to. Okay, right, let's go and do that. Cross multiplying 2x minus 10 multiplied by x minus 2 is equal to 4 times 9, which is just 36, like that. So I cross multiplied here. Now let's distribute. When you distribute, you get 2x squared minus 14x minus 16 is equal to 0. Okay, so I did this quickly. I did it all in one step. So I distributed, okay, and then I brought the plus 36 over. When you do that, okay, this is what you end up with, okay. Do you guys understand what I just did? So I distributed first, and then inverse operations, I brought the plus 36 over, okay. Then that's how I ended up with 2x squared minus 14x minus 16 equals 0. Okay, so at this stage, if you can see a common factor, okay, so what's common in all these terms here?
2.
Right, so I can divide everything by 2, okay, so then it's just x squared minus 7x minus 8 is equal to 0, right? I can factorize this, x minus 8 and x plus 1 equals 0. That means x is equal to 8 or x is equal to negative 1. Okay, now let's see. If x is equal to 8, we need to check these answers, okay, in these to see if that theorem stands, okay. So if I take 8 and I plug it in, let's see if the left-hand side will be equal to the right-hand side, right? So 2 times the 8 minus 10 over 9. So 2 times 8 there is 16 minus your 10, that's 6 over 9 here. Okay, let's check if it's going to be equal to the other side. Let's see. 4 over, the x is 8 minus 2. So 4 over 6. Simplify both sides. So this side is 2 over 3 and 2 over 3. Okay, so I see that x equals to 8 works. Now let's test the other one, okay?
Ma'am, can you also plug it into the 2x minus 10 times by x minus 2 and see if you get 36? Or not?
I'm not sure if it will work, but because I'm testing the proportionality here. Let's see. Let me just see. You test yours and then we'll come back and see if it works.
Okay.
Okay, then 4 over -1 -2. So this side I have 4 over -3. Then -2 minus 10. Let's see. -12 over 9. Okay, looks like they both work. Is there any way where it won't work? Okay, so they both work there. Okay.
Ma'am,
Yes.
after you get your x is equal to 8 and x is equal to -1,
Uh-huh.
do you have to / do you get marks for checking if it actually is proportionate?
Yeah. If you're going to reject one of the answers, one of them might not work.
Okay, but if you check and they're both there, can you just leave it as is? You don't have to show
Yeah.
that you checked them. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Now, let me see what's next. Okay, now then determine the area of triangle RFH over area of triangle RST. Okay, so for this one, right, we're going to use, let me just erase this here. What can we do to for area and whatnot?
That's the area rule.
Okay, so we can use the area rule. Oh, we forgot to do something. We forgot to check the distances. Okay, so we checked that proportionality works. Now let's check the distances before we carry on, right? HT here is x minus 2. Now remember the two values we had. We had x equals 8 and then we had the other one, x equals -1. Now, if I check the distance here, okay, what happens if I plug in x is equal to -1? -1 minus 2. H is -3. Can we have a negative distance?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so we can't, so we have to discard x is equal to -1. Now, when x is equal to 8, that one works, okay? It will work all through these. Then, okay, so now onto this area. So we're going to use the sine rule for area. Area of a triangle is equal to half AB sine C. Now, let's use R here, okay? And then we're going to use the corresponding lengths, okay? So RFH, so that's the smaller triangle at the top divided by the bigger triangle at the bottom, okay? So half of RF times RH and sine R. Then half of RS times RT times sine R. Okay. Remember, we discarded x is equal to -1. So now let's use x is equal to 8. If x is equal to 8 here, what does HT become? HT, this is now 8 minus 2, that's 6. Then this side, 8 times 2 minus 10, this is also 6. So the entire length here, 6 plus 9 is 15. So RS is 15. Then RT is 10. Okay, so length of RF, that's, okay, so the two halves, can you see they're going to cancel out? So we don't need to use those anymore. we can now plug in, and the sine r's are also going to cancel out. So now all you're going to be left with is the RF times RH over RS times RT. Let's then carry on and plug in RF, which is 6 times RH, which is 4. RS, which is 15, times RT, which is 10. When you simplify all this, 24 over 150, which simplifies to 4 over 25. Right, people?